On this episode of Dirtcheapdaily, I'm going to show you how to make your own unequal length header. Okay, so I'm losing light extremely fast and I wanted to get my unequal length header done. So, hopefully we'll be able to see. I bought this U-pipe and we're just going to do this. Just like that. And we're going to make it work. Okay, that's about as much as I can do tonight. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get it on, but I've been working on the car for about 12 hours, so I'd say it's probably good. Okay, so day 3 of the manual swap. Here you can see way better what was going on with the unequal length headers last night. So I have those, the exhaust manifold just wood screwed into this 2x8 on both sides so that it doesn't move. It keeps all the dimensions correct so that you can cut the manifold and then re-weld it without having to worry about your flanges lining up again. Last night I was in a really big hurry, which I might be regretting today because I didn't actually make this as long as I wanted to. So I think I cut it too low down here because I wanted it to come up like this to be able to actually add in a significant amount of pipe. Because right now, so this is all that I cut out and that's all I replaced it with. So it only has an extra maybe 4 inches of pipe instead of having an extra 8 inches like I was hoping, which would be guaranteed to give me a subie rumble. Usually the guy that I've seen do this before, I think he made his U-bend come up here and then come around here. So instead of it just kind of slightly being like that, it comes up and back down and in, because there is room right here for there to be that exhaust pipe. Hopefully this extra 4 inches will give us what we want. And I guess this still kind of works for a DIY UEL header, but if you're doing it yourself, definitely cut this up here and put your U-bend up this way. I need to inspect these welds closer because right here it looks like I have a hole, so I need to put some more weld right there so I don't have an exhaust leak here. The rest of them look good on this side, so I need to pull off the screws, flip it over, and fully weld the bottoms. And with that done, I can get this back up in the car and drive it, because I'm anxious. I gotta get everything cleaned up because it kind of looks like a disaster out here with all the bolts and everything and extra parts laying around. Just my automatic sitting in the driveway. But it should be good. Like that. Okay, so this one obviously is going to be an easy one to weld. This one will be alright. I'm going to take the sledge and knock that closer. Over here is a freaking joke though. That's such a huge gap. So I'm going to do my best and fill it. It'll get filled. It's definitely not going to be pretty though. But, you know, that's what you do. So now I'm just rotating it around and inspecting from all angles. And you can see places that could be trouble. So right here probably isn't a pinhole, but I'm going to fill that area. I'm going to come over to the back side of this blob and fill that. The weld here is really thin, so I'm going to make that wider and fill that. Up here, there might be a trouble area right here, so I'm going to fill this area in. Okay, so I'm pretty confident in the welds that are there. We're going to let this cool down all by itself instead of putting water on it. I don't want it to crack or anything, and so I'm going to let it cool down by itself so that the molecules in the metal can align themselves perfectly how they want to, and we won't have any issues with it down the road. I wonder if I should just tack this so that it can't move. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tack it really quick. Okay, I won't get any rattle from this one because I pulled off the other half of it and it kind of sits up against that and it's clamped to it, so it won't rattle, and I was worried it was going to rattle, so I just tacked it really quick. Hopefully it'll be alright and it won't rattle loose. Otherwise I'll just go in and cut it off. But I'm going to be turboing this car in the pretty near future, so I don't really know how long this is even going to stay on the car. It's got to warm up. And so there you have it. I'm not sure if you can tell on the video, just because of the poor quality mic that I have, but there is a bit of a rumble to it. Obviously, it's not as pronounced as you would see on like a WRX or something that has a full unequal length header, or even just on an unequal length header that you'd buy. That is the case because I didn't put in enough pipe. That night was the second full day of the manual swap. I think I was 20 hours into the swap. I was exhausted, and I was just ready to get that thing back up on there so I could be done with the swap. I was leaving on vacation like 2 days after that, so I was in a mega hurry to get that thing back together so that I wouldn't have to worry about it being rained on or something like that while I was gone. I really should have put that whole U-bend on instead of cutting off most of it and only getting 4 inches on. Although, with just the extra 4 inches, there is a slight noticeable difference. A couple of things that make it even less noticeable. So it's the stock Legacy GT exhaust from the headers back. So there's 2 cats and a big resonator. It's not running the muffler. Obviously, I have the Harley pipes on there, but it's still not as open as I would like it to be. Even if my execution wasn't as good as it should have been, I did give you the methodology to build your own unequal length header. It's pretty easy to do. Use the jig. I didn't have any issues getting it back up on the car because of the jig. But it wasn't as pronounced as I would have liked. With that being said, I don't really mind because I think it still sounds great. And here in another week or two, I'm putting on the turbo, so I'm going to have a full unequal length header then. The stock unequal length headers are going to make it sound like I want it to, so I'm really not that disappointed in my poor execution of a unequal length header. It did work out pretty well. I've been wanting to do it for a really long time, and I was glad I got a chance to do it even if it wasn't that great. To have a real unequal length header, I think one runner needs to be like 10-ish inches longer than the other one. Maybe it's just 8, I don't remember for sure. But putting in that U-bend would make it the length it needed. You can look this guy up. You can look up other DIY unequal length headers. I think he has 2 really short videos on YouTube, if I remember right. This is not my original idea. You can find the guy who did this originally. I don't remember his name. It was a long time ago that I saw him. But it sounded just like a WRX the way he did it. I just didn't execute it as well. And again, that's my fault. I was exhausted. I didn't know what I was thinking when I cut that pipe. But again, I'm not worried about it. Turbo's going on soon, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. I got a bunch of other cool videos coming up in these next few weeks. Make sure to follow me on Instagram because that's where all the turbo content is going to be first. It takes me a couple of weeks to actually get these videos back up and on YouTube. I have like backlog videos that I still haven't put out yet that I shot back in April. So I'm trying to put out the stuff I figure everybody wants to see first, and I have some other stuff that I'm going to be putting up in the winter when I don't have as much time to work on the car and when it's too cold. Hit the subscribe button. I have content that'll be airing until the end of the year, and even after that I have some stuff that'll be good. Next year I have some other projects planned, so you know, I'm not stopping. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.